Hello students, welcome to my class. In today's video, under the chapter acid, bases and salt, we are going to discuss about the how strong are acids and bases. In the last video, we discussed on the bases, their properties and also their uses. And coming to this point, how strong are acids and bases? In the previous discussion, we discussed that using indicator, it is possible to separate the acids and bases like phenolphthalein indicator, like litmus paper, methyl orange, so on. Using that, by change of their color, we can identify the given solution is acid and bases. But it's not possible to say that how strong the acid is and how strong the bases are by using those indicator. And we also discussed that we classified the acids and bases into strong acid, strong base, and weak acid and weak bases. That be done by using Arendt's concept, that is based on the dissociation of the acid when they dissolve in water, and bases when they dissolve in water, when they completely dissolves and gives H plus ion and OH minus ion, those are called as acids and strong acids and strong base, and those are dissociate less in the water, they are called as weak acids and weak bases. Well, to find out the strength of the acids and base, the strong, how much concentration they are, that can be get by one of the method, that is pH scaling. So what pH is? It is the logarithm or reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration. I will repeat the definition of this. It is the logarithm of reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration. That is, pH is equal to logarithm of 1 by H plus ion, or you can say pH is equal to minus logarithm of H plus ion. So in generally, we can say that a pH scale, it is an easier method or the way to measure the strength of an acid and or base. So that this pH scaling is used. About the logarithmic and all, we are going to study in the higher classes, but in general we are talking about it. Is pH scaling is nothing but it's an easier way to measure the strength of acid or base. And this pH scaling was introduced by a Danish biochemist, S. Sorensen. In this, pH means, in German, P stands for potential. Potential meaning is power, and H stands for hydrogen ions. And the scaling runs from 0 to 14. So here I have the scaling of that. So that is the pH scaling, you can say, that is runs from 0 to 14. See, so from 0 to 14 there are numbers are there, that is the pH scaling. It is the pH scaling, and see there the scale runs from 0 to 14. As I told, the midpoint of that is 7. So 0 to 6 is one part, left part, and 8 to 14 is one part, and middle 7 is there, that is the mid part portion of the scale. And if the pH of any solution, if it is less than 7, remember, if there is less than 7, it is acidic. If the pH scale is between 7 to 14, means above 7, if it is above 7, and then it is called as basic. And the pH solution, if the pH value of the solution is 7, then the solution is It is neutral in nature. It is neither acidic nor basic. Suppose if we have a given two acids X and Y whose pH is 2 and 4 respectively. Can you guess? Can you say which is a strong acid in it? Yes. C, that is X, because see, in the pH scaling, the value of a pH whose pH is, or the acid whose pH value is less, that acid is very strong. So means which is away from the 7 at the right left side, if it is nearer to the 0, that is all are strong acids. Here X is a strong acid and the Y is less than that, there is a moderate or weak one. More the pH value, that is a weak acid, means which is nearer to 7, that is weak acid. They are all weak acids. Means if two bases of A and B is given that are having a pH of 11 and 13 respectively, in that which base is strong and which base is weak? Yes. See, in this case, when the pH value increases, if it is away from the 7 and such, which is more away from the 7, that is strong base, which is near to the 7, that is the weak base. So the 14, if it has 14 or near to 14, which have, they are all strong base. And here in case of this is B is 13, which is a strong base. And I want to tell you one more thing here is the pH scale, that is from 0 to 2, if it is, that is a strong acid. If 2 to 4 is their pH value, they are moderate acids. If the pH value lies between 4 to 6, they're all weak acids. And if the solution has pH value 7, that solution is neutral. And if it is the solution pH, if it is having 7 to 10, then they are weak base. 10 to 12, they are of moderate bases. And 12 to 14, they are strong bases. Well, I have some pH values of some common substances like concentrated hydrochloric acid, which is 0, so very strong acid. Dilute hydrochloric acid, it's also strong. Gastric juice, strong acid. Lemon juice, it's of 2.5, it's a moderate. Vinegar is a moderate. Tomato is of weak acid. Coffee is weak acid. Soft drinks are weak acids. Milk is a weak acid. Pure water, again, as I showed, it's neutral in nature. The saliva, blood, they have all high pH. So egg, toothpaste, baking soda, they're all high value, and their pH value, when it goes on increases, their concentration of the base increases, so that the dilute sodium hydroxide, the household ammonia, the concentrated sodium hydroxide, they're all the very strong the bases. Now we'll go to the next one, that is these pH as playing a most important role in the life of all the living organisms. The pH plays a most important role in many of the activities of our daily life. Well, what is the importance of the pH in our body? pH in our digestive system. As you know, for digestion of the food, many associated glands are there in the digestive system. In that, one of the secretion is in the gastric juices, that is HCl. So this HCl helps for the digestion in killing the microbes that are present in the food. But sometimes due to the over secretion of the HCl may damages the inner wall of the stomach and makes the ulcers, that is create a gastric problem. So that is an discomfort and indigestion takes place. So that at the time we use as antacids. So these antacids, what they are? They are made up of the milk of magnesia, that is magnesium hydroxide, and sodium bicarbonate. That's a baking soda. So using this, they neutralizes their basic component. When they neutralizes the excess acid, and the person will get relief, is because of that reason. That is the one of the importance of pH in our life. And this is all about the importance of the pH. And next importance is see pH change as cause of tooth decay. See pH of the mouth when it changes, so that also affect on our teeth. For example, when you eat the sweet things, if you not wash your mouth properly, the sweetener things, these are attacked by the mouth bacteria that are present in mouth. To break down this sugar, these bacteria produces acids, and due to that the pH range changes from about 5.5 like this, and which is makes the acidic, and due to that the enamel, which is a strong present in our body, the calcium uh, content, and that is get corroded, that is get decomposed, so that the teeth decay takes place, and due to that there creates many problem in the tooth. So that is also one of the pH effect in our life. And next is the plants and animals are very sensitive to pH change. See, when the pH changes, the particular pH of the soil is needed for a growth of particular plant, so that the pH plays a most important role in the proper growth of the plants and animals. So that today's in agriculture we will test the soil pH, that is because to know what whether the soil is acidic or the basic, or what the nutrients needed, that all come to know. So that that's also more important for the proper growth of the plants. And coming to the next point, that is some of these animals, they uses this pH content or the acids or bases for the self-defensive purposes. That is self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. So that is example honeybees. You know very well the honeybees, the scorpion, then the obelia, or can say jellyfish. They all have a strong sting. When they stings to the person, these acidic component, they enter the body like methanoic acid and all, they causes a irritation to us. So that in that time, if you use a sodium bicarbonate, if you put on that on a stinging area, so we'll get relief is because of that reason. And see that this plant has a leaf with have minute the stings on that. When it stings to animal, so it get irritation, some get paralyzed. So because of this action, and this is all about the stings and pH value. And this with this I have completed the about about the pH and it's important in everyday life. So in the next video we are going to discuss about the salts. So thank you for watching the video.